Hi guys, can you hear me? Hey, Jane Rhodes, Pamela Long, Daily Poppins, Kim A, Happy Happy Happy, Samara S, uh, Carla and Company, Remy D, Bonnie McMillan, Kimberly, Wild Irish Rose, Galway Girl, Unknown Capone, Mom Without a Watch, Puss in Boots. Okay, good. You can hear me. Hey, Lily Bean. Hey, Simply E. Okay, so I know I haven't been on. Things have been a little crazy. Uh, but from what I'm hearing, and I'm just touching base here and there on YouTube, occasionally I'll dip into Carla's live stream because she goes on early, or if I can try to catch one of Laura's. But thank you, Pamela Long. Thank you, Lily Bean. So I just thought I would come on and give a little update as to what's going on. Hey, Matt Kitty. I'm still in Florida, and my son left the hospital yesterday against medical advice. He felt like what they were doing at the hospital, he could do at home. I think I'm buffering. Am I buffering? Hey, K Town. But first, I have to admit, I've said for a while now that I felt like Chance had been clean for going on 2 years. And when I say clean, my son is a past IV drug user. And though I don't think he's currently using, I think a recent relapse is what has sent him into his current situation. So, hey, Val, Serendipity, Jenna Moon. Um, well, Remy D, uh, he entered the hospital. He was feeling bad. You all knew that. And he went to an urgent care center. It's kind of like an urgent care, but to get a note so he wouldn't lose his job. Well, when they ruled out flu, they did some blood work and they grew some cultures. And my son has what they call, hang on, I got to look. I don't want to get it wrong. And I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. He has what they call invasive candidate, candid, it's CANDIDIASIS. Okay. And what that is he has yeast in his bloodstream. Yes. Now, do I think it comes along with recent drug use? I do. Does that matter where it comes from? Not to me. Not as a mom. It doesn't. Uh, right. K Town. Basically, it's like, okay, like we talked about the other night. Okay, we all know that babies get thrush. Well, even adults can get thrush. Uh, yes, he was given IV antifungal meds, Remedy. And then, but his test also came back positive for hepatitis C, which I think he's had for quite some time. He just refused to address it. Uh, and he showed signs of also hepatitis B. So basically, he has no immune system whatsoever. His white blood count is down to below 3,000. So they put him in the hospital. Um, they were giving him antifungals through IV, and then they took him off of that and put him on. I know serendipity, but here's my thing: the Hep C can be cured now, thank God. But here's the thing: they have to find where the yeast is hiding in his blood because it I don't know if coagulates is the right word, but it colonizes. Okay, uh, so they have to find where it's colonizing. Right, Em and Greg. A lot thrush is very common, just like a yeast infection in women. But if I was to go to the doctor and I was tested for a yeast infection, the doctor would prescribe me one diflucan pill. One. That would be enough to cure the common yeast infection. But because it's moved to his bloodstream, it's no longer common. It's called invasive. Chance is currently taking 3 200 milligram diflucan pills a day. So he has no immune system. And all they want him to do is to rest. And he's pitching a fit because the doctor has basically told him he cannot return to work for a minimum of 2 weeks. And it would be more like months before they would feel comfortable releasing him back out into the work field like that. So he's really, really, really stressed over that. And I get it. I get that he's stressed that he can't work. Uh, so we're still waiting for some cultures to come back today. I know, Remy D. Trust me. Trust me, Remy D. You're not telling me anything I don't know. Trust me, Remy. You, they wanted him to stay until today to at least see if the cultures. No, it wasn't ignorant of you, Remy D. That wasn't ignorant. I feel the same way as you. If I had my way, he'd stay in the hospital until he was well, or well enough that he can start combating the hepatitis C and the possible B. But until they get this yeast infection cleared up, or this invasive candida or whatever it is, uh, they can't. No, they didn't discharge him, Mandy. He left against medical advice. I don't know, Galway girl. That's what I'm working on right now. Is to see about like clinics down here that will treat him for his Hep C because his immune system, he has none. Okay, he has no immune system. Hi, sweet Melissa. Their thing is let's get the yeast infection, find out where it's pollinating. Um, if his cultures don't come back better today, they need to do what they call a TEE. And that's where they numb his throat and take a camera down and look into the valves and the muscles around the heart. Uh, if it's his liver enzymes came back good, uh, he tested negative for HIV. which was my fear. But now I'm not so sure it was any more of a fear than what we're actually dealing with. But his liver enzymes came back good. And like I said, his HIV came back negative. But Chance is also the type that if he's not down and out laying in bed, then he needs to be out there and he needs to be working and he needs to be contributing to his household. What he fails to understand is if he even catches a common cold, yeah, he doesn't have insurance coverage, Tiffany. He promised the doctor yesterday. The doctor said, Chance, if these cultures come back, the infectious disease doctor, if these cultures come back and they're still high in the yeast, your viral loads, you have to come back. You have to promise me you'll come back. Oh, I'll be okay, Galway girl. I'm just tired. But so what I'm doing, no, Karen, I looked for that too. Hey, Johnny Cuddy. He's still eating. He still has an appetite. But no, I looked for that too, Karen. Uh, I just can't afford for him to get sick. And I know that sounds strange when he's walking around with all of this. Hey, Morbid Angel. But a common cold could kill him right now. His white blood count is below 3,000. Yeah, Remy D, he knows. No, the kissing part is not true. We talked to the doctor. That's not necessarily true. Basically, what I found out about Hep B is although there's no cure, where there is a cure, it's colonizing in his spleen or his liver. Well, his liver still looks good as far as his liver enzymes. Uh, they didn't do a oh, what do you call it when they go in and take out the little piece of liver and test it? A biopsy. They haven't done that. Right now, they are so focused on getting this uh, yeast out of his blood because it attacks the heart, the liver, the brain, the eyes, and the bones. Yes, Hep C does attack the liver, Remy D. You're right. And he's obviously been running around with this Hep C for a while. But when you're an active user, you don't. I mean, he's 33. He. I know, Sarah. Me too. But he did promise the doctors. And when they told me that his prescription was $350, I like to shit myself, you all. I was like, there is no, but I was getting it regardless. But luckily, we went on what's that, Good RX, and got it a lot lower than the $350. So that was cool. Is that how he got the yeast infection? Johnny, I don't know. Uh, the origin of the yeast infection could have come from anywhere, but because his immune system was so compromised because of the hepatitis, that wherever he picked up the yeast infection, uh, his body didn't fight it at all. He has no antibodies in his body right now, none. That's what I'm working on, Tiffany Marie, to get him into some kind of clinic. Hey, Good RX. I don't have enough good things to say about them. But the course of action is get the yeast infection, find its origin, get it taken care of, make sure it hasn't attacked any major organs. Once we get him through that, the next would be to get him. Uh, Mandy, they haven't mentioned sepsis or yeah, they haven't said that word. But if you look into it, once it hits the bloodstream, it is. That's what it is. Uh, but finally, I just had to look at the infectious disease doctor and say, come on, just lay it out. Tell me what we got to do because, I live 1,000 miles away. I got to get done what I can get done. Uh, so basically, their main concern, right, is right now is the yeast in his blood. If we can get that under control and get it cleared up with the diflucan and bed rest, and we can get his body producing antibodies again, of course, this means he cannot use. He swears to me he's not currently using, but I also know he lied to me about how long it's been since he has used. But again, as his mother, I can't hold that. I can't. I'm too worried. He did have the fever and the chills, not confusion, but that's what took him to the doctor in the first place. Yeah, I know. I know, Lisa. Sepsis can happen in hours. I know. So, guys, I know. I'm telling you all. I mean, I know everything you all are telling me. No, I'm not home. I'm still in Florida, Galway girl. Thank you, Humpty Dumpty. Did he have an abscess on his body at all before going into the hospital? If you mean like an abscess from like using needles, Sarah, I don't think so. But just a month or two ago, he broke out into a rash that I thought had gone into impetigo. But they went and got this soap and he washed with it and it went away. Oh my God, K Town, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, M's. I don't know. Now I'm freaking out again. Not that I haven't been freaking out anyways, but hey, pop trauma. You know, my goal right now is to try to get him well enough that, that he'll, you know, get some of his bills paid, make sure his girlfriend's little girl has Christmas, and then take some stress off of him financially so that he will rest. I don't know, guys. I mean, all I can do is, was there drugs in his blood work? No, he tested negative for drugs. But that doesn't, I think those drugs get in and out of your body fairly quickly. I really honestly believe he hasn't used in, a couple months or maybe even a couple weeks. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been honest with me about his drug use. I'm going around so proud of him and patting him on the back because I thought he got, yeah, 3 days. I thought I thought he had 2 years clean. I was, running around basically lying to you all, not on purpose. I was, the proud mama of an addict who had had 2 years clean. And I know now he hasn't been clean for 2 years. But again, I can't put my focus on that. can't I can't focus on the fact that he lied to me and slipped up and didn't come on, wasn't honest. I have to concentrate on what he's going through right now. I know he didn't want to disappoint me, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just wiped out, guys, trying to figure out what the next move is. Has a therapist ever pinpointed what drives him to use drugs? No. This candida overgrowth seriously health be okay? I hope. No, he did not live around the corner. Am I staying with him down here? No, because he's so agitated with me right now. I'm over at my sister's, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away from him. But he gets agitated with me because I'm the one saying you need to rest. I'm the one saying you need to take your medicine. I'm the one saying quit worrying about working right now. We'll figure it out. We'll get your bills paid up through January, get you through Christmas, get your bills paid up through January. Yes, I know, Mike. Yes, you can. I don't think his girlfriend uses devil's candy, but what do I know, man? I mean, he wasn't dope sick when he was in the hospital, and they weren't giving him drugs. I mean, nothing that he could, you know, he wasn't dope sick in the hospital, y'all. Hey, D Rod. Oh, I know he carries a lot of guilt, but we got to get, I mean, we have just got to get past that and start, okay, you destroyed your body, Chance. You've done horrible things to your body. Now let's try to get it as well as it can be, and then we'll deal with the other stuff down the road. I don't know, Pop. He says the last time he used is right before he turned himself in, the last time he went to jail, which was back in April. And I don't believe that. I believe he's used since then. I can try that, Tiffany Marie. Oh, his body is definitely ran down. But, I can't focus on the fact that he's lied to me about the last time he used. Trust me, I was so angry. But he became agitated. I was pissed off. And I thought, okay, this is not going to make him well. I need to get him well. He knows the consequences of ever putting a needle back in his body. He knows that. Truth, if he wasn't shaking or vomiting in the hospital, he can't be using. No, that's what I'm saying, Sandra. I don't believe he is dope sick at all, which tells me he hasn't used for a little while, anyways. Yeah, I couldn't even comfortably put him in a rehab right now, Sarah, not with him being infectious the way that he is. I mean, when you have all of this thrown at you, you have to I have to look at the doctor and say, break it down for me. Tell me what I have to do right this minute. I mean, I just want to keep him alive long enough to to look forward to a treatment for the Hep C. And yeah, day by day right now. Yeah, his immune system is non-existent. You're right, Karen. He has none. I mean, he has none. My goal is right now to keep him alive long enough that his immune system starts to produce antibodies that fight everyday things. Miss Lee, I'm sorry to hear about that. Once I get him to that part, then we can start the treatment for the hepatitis C, which we all know can be cured. It's like a 12-week regimen, but you can do it. It can be done. No, I asked K Town if there was anything for his that I could do, that he could do to try to boost his immune system. Uh, if there was any kind of dietary, anything, any kind of natural, anything. And they told me no, that, but until they know where the candida or candina, where, whatever the shit it is, the yeast is colonizing. And I just messaged him earlier and I said, did you call the hospital to see if they got the results of your cultures back yet today? And his response is, Mom, they said they'd call me. Okay, well, I'm not willing to wait on that. So I told him if he didn't call him, he said he was going to take a nap. And if he didn't call him by, you know, 2 o'clock this afternoon, that I was going to call him. Will they talk to me? I don't know. But I don't know, guys. Like I said, right now, I just want to get him well enough that his own body starts to help him again. And then we'll deal with everything else down the road. We'll deal with the treatment for the Hep C. And once his body starts to build antibodies and stuff again, then the Hep B, although there's no cure, he can find ways to stay healthy and not contagious and spread it to other people. And yes, his girlfriend does know about that. So, but I do know that Hep B is now, children are now vaccinated for that. Back when we were having kids, it was not a part of your vaccination. Hepatitis B is now a vaccination, which really makes me wonder why, when these drug users, when these addicts are going in and out of facilities, why are they not immunized? Why are they not giving them inoculations for Hep B? Why is that not mandatory? You know, I think anybody that comes into a jail or a rehab or anything like that that has a history of IV drug use should they should have to give them the Hep B shot. I mean, what an easy way to stop so much of it. It's too late now. He's been tested positive for it. He can't have the shot. But the people around him, the people that, he lives with, and, you know, they can. They can protect themselves, which the little girl he lives with, she's got it. She's been vaccinated. But I doubt his girlfriend has. So yeah, I had to tell her. I don't know, guys. Tracy, people with hepatitis C are prone to an overabundance. Yes, that's true, Galway girl. Uh, which is what led him in the direction to test him for Hep C when he showed yeast in his blood system. Yeah, he hasn't become jaundice yet, Sarah. I laid in bed last night and thought, you know, I agree, Devil's Candy. Yes, I agree with you. She does need to be checked. And if she tests negative, she can get the uh, she can get the vaccination. I'm telling you guys, I've I've spent hours upon hours researching and trying to figure out what I can do. My son has jailhouse tattoos, D Rod. So he could have gotten it from something as simple as that. But again, I can't focus on how he got it. Hey, D Nikki. Hey, Raquel Adams, Crane Kicks. I can't focus on how he got it. I've just got to focus on getting him better because I I can't unring a bell. What's done is done. Does he know the dangers of doing it again, of going back to IV drug use and the fact that it will kill him? Yes, he does. Is it enough to stop him? I don't know. But, I can't focus on what he's done to get where he's at because what good does that do? A homeopathic doctor helped him. Ooh, pop trauma. I'm going to look into that. Nope. Nope, Mac. He never did turn jaundice. Never. Me too, Sarah. Me too. It is heartbreaking, Bertie, because, and I don't want to start crying. I swore when I come on here I was not going to cry. I'm about as cried out as I can get. That first night in the hospital, and he become really agitated with me because I started asking the tough questions he didn't want me to know. He didn't want me to know the answers to them. So he becomes really agitated and he jumps up and he says, Mom, you come down here and you just barge in here and you're just making things complicated. And if this was the only thing he had going, it would be bad enough. But the first night and second night in the hospital, when I got down here, whatever night he was on, I don't remember. I came the next night. He got admitted one night and I was down here the next evening. Well, his girlfriend, who shares custody with her ex, the baby's dad, couldn't get a hold of the baby's father. And because he's never, ever not picked the baby up when he's supposed to, she did a welfare check and the police went to his home and he's been beat to the point that he's in ICU and they don't think he's going to make it. So they had all of that going on. Chance's girlfriend had that going on. Nope, he's never had a blood transfusion, Sandra. I have no doubt in my mind where the Hep C has come from. It's come from his drug use. Well, the night that he got so agitated with me, I was like, you know what, son? This is the last thing you need is to be upset. I'm just going to leave. And he looked at me with tears in his eyes and he said, Mom, I don't want to be alone. And I said, do you want me to stay or do you want Aunt Missy to stay, which is my sister? And he said, I want you to stay, Mom. So I convinced him to give him something for his anxiety. Yes, I was pushing the doctors to give him drugs because I had to keep him in that hospital bed. And I curled up in a recliner, and that's where I slept until I went home I went to my sister's to get a change of clothes and shower. And that's when he called and said, they're releasing me. And then when I got there, I found out they weren't actually releasing him. He had convinced the doctor to let him leave. It will all work out. That I have to believe that, Val. You know, I have to believe that. But in the meantime, I just can't convince him. The doctors can't. Yes, he left AMA. He did. He told the doctor because they had quit giving him IV antifungals, uh, and they were just giving them to him orally. And he told the doctor, "I can do this at home. I can rest and take pills at home." So, thank you, Captain Obvious. Like I said, he has to take some responsibility for his health. He is 33 years old. My goal while I'm down here is to get this yeast cleared up, find out where it's pollinating, pray to God it's not in his heart or in the chambers of his heart. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Well, they quit, Galway. They quit giving him the IV method at the hospital and had switched over to oral. And when I did the research, that's exactly what they're supposed to do. Yes, they did an echo and a sonogram of his heart, and it looked normal. Uh, which when you tell Chance something looks normal, he's like, "Oh well, cool. I'm all good." But he's not all good. That's why if the cultures come back today, they want to do that TEE where they take the scope down his throat. Must be intestinal. I'm thinking that too, K Town. I'm thinking that too. But, he's not a little boy anymore where I can demand answers from doctors and, everything they tell me, they have to clear it through him first. So it makes me wonder if, what exactly has he told them not to tell me? I see the concern in the doctors and nurses' face. I see their concern. Uh, when I met him in the lobby of the hospital yesterday, he had his, balloon and all of his snacks I had brought him. And I don't know, Mac 11. I don't know. I don't know where it started. Chance is just the kind that thinks, okay, I'm all better now. And he's not all better. And he's not going to be all better, maybe ever. But he can live with the Hep B if we can get his immune system back up and get him through this invasive candidus or whatever it's called, the yeast. If we can get him through that, then we can move on to the Hep C treatment. The candidus can affect his mental state, so just try to keep a good open line with the girlfriend. Well, that's a whole different story. The girlfriend is a whole different story. I don't even know how to deal with it. Just, I mean, he's just got so much attacking his body right now. And I'm sad to say, but he's brought it on himself as far as no, I don't think so, Sarah. She uses methadone, so she's a previous user, but she's been on methadone for several years now. Um, you know what, Val? I am going to spend the holiday here because, well, I guess none of us really know um, when our last holidays with our loved ones will be, but I'm worried about Chance. I'm worried when I leave here that he will not follow through. Uh, that if he gets sick, um, because of his what will now always be uh, a weakened immune system. I mean, he will always have an autoimmune disease, always. And I just can't make him understand all of this. I can't. I mean, I'm trying. Yeah, I've got the Christmas covered. Uh, does your son battle with depression? No, he battles with denial. Uh, yes, he is invincible in his mind. But when my son is feeling depressed, he takes it 180% the opposite way and walks around making crude jokes and things like that. And that's when I know there's something really bothering him. Candida breeds like wildfire with sugar. I didn't know that. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Candida. I don't know. But I'm taking notes of what you all are saying. Tracy, as hard as it seems, you have to let go and let God. I know, but I've never been able to do that, Galway girl. Not when it comes to my son. No, he's not diabetic because that is common in diabetics. That candida is common in diabetics. I trust me. I've Googled it all, and this letting go and letting God. I know that's what I have to do, but I just have such a hard time doing it when it comes to my son. I can do it when it comes to me. Okay, Tiffany Marie, I'll take that. Um, you can send it to. It looks like money Tracy Tracey at gmail.com. I'll try anything at this point. Burdock root. Where do you get that at, Serendipity? Like, I'm like taking screenshots of my phone right now as you all type. Where do I get that, Serendipity? Milk thistle. Yeah, I've known about my son's addiction for a lot of years, but he's also lied to me. So, a local health food store, online at GNC or pharmacy over the counter. Okay, cool. All right. I'm sorry, Sandra. If he just had one thing attacking his system right now, I would be like, okay, but he has no antibodies in his body is not fighting anything. And I'm scared to death that oh, I mean, I don't even want him to get a fucking cold right now. That could be it, Mac. Yes, your daughter, yes. And I'm glad, Gravy K. There is definitely a cure for Hep C. That cure has only been around for maybe 20 years, if that. But you're right, there is a cure. It's like a 12-week regimen that you do. Alkaline diet. Oh my God. Yes, he has no antibodies, none. He tested for zero antibodies. Diatomaceous earth. I use that to keep bugs out of my house when I live down here. But I know you can eat it when you leave. Can he afford the changes? No, Mike. He can't afford anything because they don't even want him out in the workforce. They gave him a note saying at a minimum of 2 weeks, but the doctor said it could be more like months before his body was strong enough to be out there in the real world. I mean, I just want to wrap him in bubble wrap. Remember the movie The Boy in the Bubble? I just want to make it all better. Yep, John Travolta. Yep. Yeah, but how do you keep somebody away from all infections? I mean, how do you do that? You can go into, I mean, he went into the pharmacy to get his own medicine. I don't know, Mac. I'm looking into all that right now. Alkaline water. All right. I know. Gravy. I said the same thing. I grabbed a handful of them, and he said, "Mom, I'm not wearing that in the store." I said, "That's exactly where you fucking need to wear it." So, like I said, I just want to take the stress off of him so that he will be willing to do what they're asking, which is to continue the diflucan, which I paid for it. There's no reason for him not to take it. Continue the diflucan and get the rest. Then I want to take him back to do more blood work before I leave Florida to see if his viral loads have gotten any better, if the yeast has gotten any better. You know what, sweet Melissa? I wish you were right, but she doesn't seem. I don't even want to say she's not all there. She's a very intelligent person, but I know, Ems. I was forced to wear anytime my blood count when I was doing chemotherapy. Anytime my blood count went below 4,500, and they would give me that Neulasta shot to build it back up. I would have to wear a surgical mask uh, if I went out into public, which I didn't go out much, but thank you, Kimberly. No, he is not on methadone. In order to be on methadone, you have to test positive for drugs, I think, and he didn't. I can't worry about the drug use right now. I know he's not using right this second. Um, can I tell you that he's not been clean for the 2 years I was bragging about? Yeah, I can tell you that. But like I said, I can't go back. It, in my opinion, at this point, it doesn't even matter where all of this has come from. It's here, and now we have to deal with it. I mean, yeah, I can be pissed off that he lied and, that he's used again since he told me he last used. I can be pissed off about it, but it's not going to make him better. Alkaline diet, alkaline diet. Okay, creative. I'm going to Google it when thank you, M's. Exactly, serendipity. And that's what he called it when he finally admitted to it. He's like, okay, mom, I slipped up right before I turned myself in the last time. But, and I didn't know about that. I mean, it's very important to me. Oh, he just messaged me. All right, I'm gonna message him back. Are you resting? I bet he says yes, but I bet he ain't. But I mean, you can't unring a bell, people. He's done this damage to his body, and now we have to get him as well as we can get him. Or we don't. I do, and him, me and him together. See, he never wants to respond. He only wants to respond to stupid shit I text. Are you resting? No response. Please call and ask about cultures, or I'm texting and talking at the same time, or I will lie and say you okayed it. I have to be honest with you. My biggest fear when I was talking to his nurse when I got there, because I got there in the evening, my biggest fear was they were going to tell me he has HIV. And then when I find out that I'm dealing with something more serious than HIV, I mean, that was my biggest fear. And then when they said that came back negative, I was like, oh, thank God. But there's people that live into their 70s and 80s with HIV. Right, Kim. I thought that was my biggest fear. I really did. But then when they came back with this concern and um, about this uh, freaking yeast, I thought, well, fuck, I thought HIV was my biggest fear. I don't even know what my biggest fear is right now, guys. Thank you, K Town. Yeah, I felt like I had to come on here and update you guys because you all have been so good to me. And there's been so many people asking Laura and, everybody in her chat, is he running a temperature? Not now. He was having chills. He would get a temperature, he would take Advil, it would break. He would get a fever, he would take uh ibuprofen, it would break. You become a power of attorney so you can make his medical decisions? No, because there's nothing wrong with him in his mind. He's fully capable of making medical decisions. They're just not the ones I like, because all I want to do is, just get well, son. And he's all stressed about working and Christmas and, you know, how they going to pay this? How they going to pay that? And, we'll deal with it when we get there, dude. But if you're dead, you can't pay it. What's it matter if you're not here? Is your job going to matter if you're not here? Is your electric bill going to matter if you're not here? I mean, come on. I understand the stress of needing to work. I get that. But right now, I just got to get him well enough that he can go back into the free world and somebody not sneeze on him and he land in a hospital or he becomes sepsis like you are talking. No, he does not get it, Mac 11. He does not get it. He thinks because he's not laying in a hospital bed, you know, with tubes and wires and all of that, that, or the fact that he's able to, you know, walk the dog or that he's not deathly ill. I don't even know. What, if anything, does your sister think about the situation? She's about like me, but I'm his mom. He just said, yes, I just woke up. I will call. Now I'm going to nag him even more. Please do and let me know. ASAP. Did you take your meds? And don't worry, even from back in Indiana, or, I can call him every day and say, did you take? I know it won't go away on its own. You're right, Sarah. I can call him every day and demand he turn his camera on and I watch him take his meds. But I can't tie him to a bed. It was just so much easier when they're six and you have all the power in the world. What is his diagnosis? Invasive CANDIAIS, I think, which is yeast in his blood system, and hepatitis C, and he tested positive for Hep B, which they're going to retest him on that. No, Tiffany Marie, I don't think he realizes. Careful pushing too hard. Exactly, Captain Obvious. Because he's 33 years old. If I push him too hard, he's just going to clam up, or he's just going to say, fuck it, and go back out there on the streets. If he thinks he's going to die anyways, I know my son. He's going to be like, fuck it, I'll just go out with a bang. So I'm like, it's like I'm walking on a tightrope right now. My biggest fear was one of those doctors telling him he was going to die. And whatever time he had left, he was going to go out and blast his veins. I mean, I don't know, you all. I'm really confused right now, but and I'm sure he is too. I'm the nagging mom. I'm the He just texted me back, not till 5, remember? He's right. His medicine's not due till 5. I'm going to ask him how he's feeling. Hold on. How you feeling? Don't lie. Let's see what he responds. He'll lie. But, he needs to understand the long term things too. Um, it raises your percentage of getting liver cancer. There's just so much that I just want him to take care of what he can take care of, and then we'll deal with anything else. Is he far from me? Not right now, Gravy K. He's about an hour and, I don't know, hour and 15, hour and 20. He's in Central Florida and I'm on the coast right now. He says I feel fine. No, you don't. That's what I wrote too. No, you don't. See, that'll get a response out of him. That'll be like, all right, mom, I'll just talk to you later. I'm done talking about it. I don't know about being tested for lupus. I don't know what all they've tested him for. I mean, I don't know what their protocol is. Why you say that? That's how he answers. Why you say that? Because you are very sick right now. You just won't believe that. See, now I'm gonna piss him off, but I love you. Maybe that won't piss him off as much. He says, "Why you say that?" Because I said, "How are you feeling?" Don't lie. He said, "I feel fine." I said, "No, you don't." He says, "Why do you say that?" I said, "Because you are very sick right now. You just won't believe it. But I love you." We'll see what that gets out of him. I don't know what else to do, y'all. Is Lolly okay? She's back in Indiana. Somebody sent me a picture of her curled up in the chair next to my brother. So I don't know. Like I said, guys, that's what he's dealing with. That's what um that's what his body's going through right now. And that's I'm just gonna take it one step at a time. I'm gonna do everything I can do on my end. I'm gonna fully expect him to step up to the plate and do what he has to do because at 33, I can't make him do anything. Yeah, I don't think it's lupus related, trust me. I think he's just when you have three different anti uh when you have three different conditions that are attacking your immune system, thank you, Mac 11, then that's what he has. He has three different autoimmune diseases working at him, going at him right now at the same time. And I know, Kimberly, but God, it's so hard as a mother. It was so much easier when I was sick. It was so much easier when I was sick. Doctor came in and said you got cancer. I was like, okay, now what? And I dealt with it. Be careful not to enable, honey. He's a big boy. Give him praise for being an adult. Say things like, I'm glad you're being responsible and taking care of yourself. Yeah, I know. I agree, Val. Do you have support there or are you alone? No, my sister and her wife lives here. So even when I go back to Indiana, my sister is still only an hour and 15 minutes away from him. And although their relationship has been fractured in the past when he was a heavy drug user and he didn't do some nice things, I mean, he basically robbed her. They have since repaired their relationship, and for that, I'm grateful. So even when I leave here, I know I can pick up the phone and call my sister and say, I need you to get the chance now. And she will. She'll drop whatever she's doing. Is there anyone he trusts and listens to? Well, Desiree, that's supposed to be me. Hi, Nanya Biz. But I got some thoughts going on in my brain on who I can have give him a call and maybe maybe try to drive it home to him. How long has he been with this girlfriend? Oh, maybe 9 months. Maybe 9 months. I don't know, guys. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking, Lisa 54. I think he's scared. Is he scared? Is he scared enough to never put a needle in his body again? Gotta hope so. Gotta hope so. Is he scared enough to treat this as serious it is as it is? I don't think so. It is a lot to take in all at once. You know, if I was just dealing with, and I know I sound like I'm making it about me. I know I probably sound so selfish, but right now it kind of is about me because I seem to have more concern than he does. So yeah, I'm gonna make it all about me right now. But like I said, guys, I did want to update you all. I know you guys have been asking. Please continue your prayers. You don't know how much those mean to me. Also, there's so many people out there going through stuff. I'm definitely not in a boat alone. Uh, Tawanda is going through some really hard times. Um, I know Mandy Waller just lost her mother. Um, oh, I'm so proud of him, Lady Liv. Uh, I saw John. I logged onto YouTube for just a minute and saw where John Crimes had a community post about some news that he got. Um, I know there's people right here in my chat that are going through things that haven't even mentioned them to anyone. Uh, so, like I said, there's so many people out there that just need thoughts and prayers that pretty much now every time I lay my head down, I just have to say, God take care of everybody, because there's just too many to mention. But I will be selfish when it comes to my son, and I will ask that he be healed first. Holidays can be hard. I still plan on doing my Christmas morning live because there's people out there that don't have anybody to be with on Christmas. And hopefully, I'll be doing it from my son's living room, or he'll be right beside me when we do it. So, okay, thank you, Kim. Yeah, Jet Setter. I'm not so sure that the last drug he used was opiates. That was his original addiction, but I think he moved on to amphetamine after that. But I have a sub of mine that was just diagnosed with stage 2 pancreatic cancer. Her name is Brooke. Oh, definitely. Prayers for Brooke. Yep, Harley, you're right. All I can do is to be his mama and to listen to him and to love him and not judge him. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to judge my son. It will change nothing. He will still be sick, and you know, so guys, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate your prayers. Pray for Brooke. Pray for Tawanda. Pray for Mandy Waller. If there, if there's anybody out there that could use just a good morning, how are you doing, a shoulder to cry on, and you can be that person, then please do it. Please do it. Great, Val. Val's daughter just texted and she passed her student teaching. She's all done with her teaching degree. That's great. Yep. Prayers for all who's going through a tough time because there's tough times everywhere. I guess it's when your faith gets tested. Yep, I'm trying, D-Rod. But I'll check back in, and if I don't talk to some of you all before the holiday, which I'm sure I will, I hope you all have good holidays and safe holidays. And if you can't be with the ones you love, then love the ones you're with. All right, guys. I appreciate everything, and I'll see you around the tube. Bye.